What is memory power for students and how do we develop it? Now, this session is going to help you. If you're a student or a parent watching this, it's going to show you how you can develop your memory power, what it is. And before that, you may want to go to fuelforsuccess.com, register your name for free memory training. My name is Dr. MD Ahmed. I'm an international author. I hold a world record, a Guinness World Record in super memory. I'm one of the best to talk about memory power in the world. So what is memory power? Before we learn that, the first thing that I want you to understand is people have got these myths. Now, what is a myth? It's a false belief that you adopt, a belief that's not going to help you perform well in exam. Now, there are a few beliefs that most of the students have, and you have to let go of these beliefs. Now, what are they to develop your memory power? Now, you see, these myths, number one is, I'm just not good at remembering things. Now, you and I need to understand that when you say, I am not good at remembering things, what you're actually telling is that you do not have or you do not know how to remember things. Now, you see, there's a difference between I'm just not good at remembering things and I haven't learned how to remember things. Because you see, the moment you say, I'm not good at remembering things, what your brain does is it takes that as a command. Okay, and it will not let you study better because you have this belief, oh, I'm not good at remembering things, I'm going to forget this in the exam anyways, so why study? Now that's a dangerous thing to have. You got to let go of it because you can always remember things when you learn how to do that. And the next belief that people have is, I have a bad memory and I can do nothing about it. Now you see, memory power is neither good or bad. It is trained or untrained. You and I have to understand this. And the moment you say you have a bad memory power, like I said, you will not be able to put in 100% and do your bit. You're going to stop yourself because in the background, the thought keeps going on. Oh, you're going to forget anyways. You have a bad memory. Why study? Remember, it's not about good or bad memory. It's about trained or untrained memory. I had a student of mine in North India. Now, this girl was all into sports and she had this very strong belief that she cannot study. Her memory power is very bad and all that. And I proved her wrong because I taught her one of my techniques and I showed her a step-by-step process to develop her memory power. And after developing her memory power, she went ahead and broke a world record in memory power. Yes, a girl who had this belief that said, my memory power is bad, she went ahead and broke a world record. And then she became a topper in one of the subjects in a class for the very first time in her school. So remember this, there is nothing called as bad memory, it's just trained or untrained memory. And then people say, I'm too old or too young to improve my memory. That's not true at all, because you see, scientists today tell us that the brain can create neurons no matter what age you are. Unless you're physically damaged, there's an issue. Now you see, normal people, average people have to understand that the brain has the capacity to generate neurons and connections between them. It's called neurogenesis and neuroplasticity. And no matter what age you are, young, old, doesn't matter, you can always develop your memory power or memory skills. And then I have never been a memory person, so I will never excel in exams. Think about it. Should you be a memory person to excel in exams? No, 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 not at all. You need not be a memory person, a memory man, a memory woman, a memory girl, a memory boy. No, that's not required. You know, if you develop a few skills and if you're able to memorize some of the keywords from your concepts, that's more than enough. If you know how to memorize facts, figures, your formulae, that's more than enough. That may be sufficient for you. So remember this, you need not be a memory person to excel in exams. And now let's understand what memory power is. Memory power is the ability to recall, say that out with me, memory power is the ability to recall the right information on demand. Now, what does that mean? On demand. That means to say, let's say you learn your answers, you learn your concepts, right? You learn the facts, figures, history, dates, or whatever it is that you study. So once you learn that, on demand is usually your exam, right? Your test. When you go to your examination hall, when you go to your school, your college, when you take the question paper, you look at the question and you go, God, I studied this yesterday, and your mind goes blank and I do not know what it is today. A lot of students have that problem. They forget in the examination hall, and then they say, I do not have good memory. Now the thing is, they did not know how to store the answers and recall the answers. So that is why memory power is all about storing and recalling on demand. Whenever you are required to recall, you recall. And when you do that, that is having memory power. Now, you might say, then in that case, I don't have memory power. That means to say, you haven't developed your memory power. There's a difference between not having memory and not developing memory. All right. So let's understand the 3 steps to develop memory power. Should we cover this? Do you think we should do that in this session? Right? Let's go ahead, understand the 3 steps that you can use starting today to develop good memory power. Step number 1 is learning and understanding. Now you see, these are the basic 3 steps to good memory power. And step number 1 is, okay, we jump to step 2. Step number 1 is learning and understanding, where you learn and understand the subject matter. Remember this. Without learning, without understanding the subject matter, it's going to be very difficult for you to do well in exams. A lot of people end up depending on rote memory. Now, what is rote memory? They keep by hearting yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. They keep repeating the answers, or they keep writing and writing and writing and writing till the pen breaks, or the fingers, they break. Now, you see, that's not the way to study, because it's just not about cramming things up, right? Filling your mind with all those answers and then going and just writing your answers on the answer sheet. That is not the purpose of exam. You need to understand that you have to learn and understand the subject matter. That's the first step, learning and understanding, and it happens in your school, in your college, in your classroom. And that is the reason why you may not like what I'm saying. You've got to respect the teachers, because the moment you have this disrespect, your mind doesn't take the teachers seriously, and the concepts that are being taught, you will take those concepts very light, or you might not listen to the teacher at all. When you don't listen to the teacher, you will not learn and understand anything. When you don't learn and understand anything, you will not learn anything. When you don't learn anything, you will not be able to memorize anything. When you don't memorize anything, you will not be able to write anything. And when you don't write anything, you don't perform well in exams. All right. So learning and understanding, respect your teacher. Now, if you tell me I simply can't respect my teacher because I don't like my teacher, that's up to you. That's something very personal. But then you can always look at other teachers who can teach you that particular subject or that particular concept. Make sure that you learn and understand. You've got to know how to listen to the teacher. This is very critical. One of my students, she used this technique called dynamic listening in the class that I teach in my workshops. And after learning this technique, she applied this technique and went from scoring 85 to 92% in a 10th grade board exams, ICSE syllabus exams, one of the toughest, it's one of the toughest curriculums, that is what they say. So she scored 92%, and then she didn't stop there. 12th standard, when she learned the advanced techniques from me, without going to coaching classes, I repeat, without external coaching, she scored 98% in a physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology, right? It's very powerful. So, but then let's stick to the basics today. Learning and understanding. Once you learn and understand the subject matter, the next step you have to do is you need to store what you have learned and understood. Now, you need not store everything. There was a student, I had been to this place called Coimbatore, Valparai, and I met the student. He wanted to memorize everything, every comma, every full stop in the book. No, it doesn't work like that. Memorizing doesn't mean to say that you need to know everything in the textbook, every line in the textbook. No, that's not the idea. Memorizing, storing the answers is storing the key words related to that concept, because you have learned and understood the concept. Now you need to link those keywords to that concept. And once the keywords get linked to the concept, you will be able to recall the entire concept if you are able to recall the keyword. Hence, storing and recalling the keywords, the key ideas is critical. And the other thing that you have to store and recall without any understanding and learning is history dates. There's nothing to understand, but then you just need to memorize it. These are hard facts, figures, melting points, boiling points, atomic mass, right? These are the things that you have to just memorize as they are. All right. So here you will require memory skills. There are different memory skills. Some of the popular memory skills are the pegging method, linking method, story method, and all that. And for some reason, I don't teach these skills in my workshops. I teach copyrighted skills that can be applied immediately in studies, and you can skyrocket your performance. Nonetheless, these techniques are very popular, and you will find them on the internet. They're there everywhere. Now, that's step 2. And step 3 is, once you have learned and understood, the next step is you store the answers. And the third step is you should be able to recall the answers, right? You should test yourself. Every time you study, make sure that you test yourself. You should be able to recall, because you see, exams, the irony is, they don't give you marks because you have learned something. They give you marks based on how much you can recall and how much you can write and how much you can solve, the paper there. That is what is important. So you should be able to recall. Now you see, we covered these 3 steps. What do you think memory power is? I want you to go to the comment section, write that down. What did you like about this session? What is a belief that you're going to let go starting today? And then you can also like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Take charge and develop your memory power. I will see you soon.
Shop taken by Ahmed Muhammad is of very high order, and it's much useful to the personal development of each person.
This workshop isn't just about memory. Dr. Ahmed has made us laugh, cry, and a lot more. We've had a lot of fun. And more importantly than memory, he's brought me close to my mom again, which has not been like that in a long time.
मैं डॉक्टर अहमद का जो ये वर्कशॉप ज्वाइन किया है, मैं बहुत खुश हूँ. मेरे बच्चों में एक ग्रेट इम्प्रूवमेंट फील कर रही हूँ, और जो मैं कभी समझ नहीं पाई, सोच नहीं पाई, वो सोचने समझने की शक्ति और वो जो नया एक तरीका है या नई सोच उन्होंने हमारे अंदर डाली है, मैं उससे बहुत ज़्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस हूँ.
So the main difference between the coaching classes and this is that the coaching classes teach you the material, but the MD sir over here teaches you how to learn the material. So I feel that learning how to learn the material is really very, very important to learn the material. So this program is worth it, and I have spent about 2.5-3 lakhs on coaching classes, but they are not up to the mark, and like a fraction of that amount is being paid to MD sir, and the results are 100 times better than what the coaching classes can do.
मैं सबको ये बताना चाहती हूँ कि इतनी पावरफुल क्लास है कि अगर ये नहीं किया तो जिंदगी का एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा मिस कर दिया. मैं बता रही हूँ कि प्लीज ज्वाइन करो. डोंट मिस दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी.